Picture this. You're standing outside in a world locked in ice. No heating, no insulated house, no supermarket. Just what you can carry, build, or find. Now imagine surviving not one night, but an entire winter. You might think prehistoric humans survived because they were tougher than us. They weren't. No thick fur, no natural insulation, no escaping the cold. Instead, they built something more powerful: technology, cooperation, and the ability to adapt. Today, 3 secrets that help them survive extreme winters. The tiny tool that transformed animal skins into real protection. The biological furnace inside the human body. And the social strategy that turned vulnerable individuals into resilient communities. Because the biggest secret was never strength, it was working together. Intro. Welcome back to Imtisk. How does a hairless primate survive freezing winds and endless winters? Not through one magic adaptation, through stacking small advantages. Fire, shelter, clothing, food, knowledge, cooperation. A wolf has fur, a polar bear has insulation, a mammoth has a massive coat. Humans had something different: tools. And the first breakthrough was tiny. Secret 1, the invisible shield. Step outside in freezing wind wearing a loose animal hide. It looks warm. It isn't. Wind slips around the edges. Cold air moves between layers. Movement is clumsy. The fix wasn't better fur. It was engineering. At some point, humans developed bone needles, some carved from ivory, precise enough to sew fitted clothing, sleeves, hoods, tight seams, layered garments, real footwear. Suddenly, clothing trapped warm air against the body instead of just draping over it. Humans didn't evolve thicker fur. We built our own. That's one of the most fascinating patterns in human evolution. When nature didn't equip us, we manufactured the equipment ourselves. But clothing only traps heat. It can't create it. For that, we need Secret 2. Secret 2, the biological furnace. Your body is a heat engine. Every heartbeat, every thought, every muscle contraction burns energy and releases heat. Cold triggers shivering, rapid muscle contractions that generate extra warmth. But there's another system: brown adipose tissue, or brown fat. Unlike ordinary fat, it's packed with mitochondria built to burn energy specifically for heat. It's especially active in infants, and research shows adults retain some too, with cold exposure increasing its activity. Did Ice Age humans lean on this? Possibly, though we can't measure it directly in the fossil record. What's certain, human biology gave us tools to fight cold internally. But biology alone was never enough. It worked with clothing, fire, and shelter, not instead of them. And all of it needed fuel, which meant solving winter's hardest problem: food. The winter food problem. Snow covers the landscape. Plants vanish. Animals migrate or scatter. Every meal costs energy, and every mistake is expensive. Winter wasn't just a temperature problem. It was a resource problem. A single successful hunt could feed a group for days and supply everything else too: bones for tools, hides for clothing, tendons for cordage. But hunting large animals wasn't a solo act. It took planning, timing, and communication. Which brings us to the real secret. Secret 3, the social weapon. The most important tool humans carried through the Ice Age wasn't a needle, a spear, or even fire. It was each other. One person can't maintain a fire, build shelter, hunt, watch for danger, and care for children all at once. A group can split the work and carry something even more valuable: knowledge. Where water hides beneath snow, which plants survive winter, where shelter blocks the wind, how to prepare hides, make tools, keep a fire alive. That knowledge doesn't die with one person. It gets taught. We don't just inherit biology, we inherit information, and every generation starts with a head start. The power of cooperation. Harsh winters make cooperation valuable. Archaeological evidence shows prehistoric humans moved materials over long distances, maintained ties between groups, and passed traditions down generations. This doesn't mean the Ice Age invented human intelligence. That history runs much deeper, but it made intelligence, planning, and cooperation essential. Every winter meant dozens of decisions: where to move, how much fuel is enough, when to hunt, how to divide food, which route is safest. One bad call wasted precious energy. Good planning meant survival. Humans didn't just adapt their bodies to the environment, they adapted how they lived. Fire, the technology that changed everything. Fire gave warmth, light, and a way to process food and materials. But its real power was social. A scattered group freezing alone can't do much. A group gathered around a fire can share food, repair tools, teach skills, and plan the next move. Fire created a space where culture could accumulate. Every night around it was a chance to pass on knowledge the group could use the next morning. One person's discovery could become everyone's survival strategy.
The biggest secret. Clothing shields the body, fire adds warmth, shelter blocks the wind, food fuels it all, tools make every task more efficient, and cooperation ties every advantage together. None of it had to be perfect, it just had to work well enough. Humans didn't beat the Ice Age by evolving fur like a polar animal. We changed the rules. Instead of waiting on evolution, we built clothing. Instead of natural shelter, we built our own. Instead of facing winter alone, we built communities. Instead of losing knowledge with each death, we passed it forward. That turned a physically fragile species into one of the most adaptable on Earth. The final revelation. The Ice Age wasn't a battle against cold, it was a test of adaptation. Our ancestors weren't superhuman. They were vulnerable, exposed, hungry, cold, just like we would be. Their real advantage was simple. They could learn. And once one person learned something useful, the whole community benefited. A needle improved clothing. Better clothing made harsh land livable. Fire extended the hours for work and connection. Cooperation improved access to food. Knowledge passed from one generation to the next. The result wasn't one clever trick. It was a system built from millions of small human decisions. Outro. So how did prehistoric humans beat deadly winters? Not fur, not immunity to cold, not magic biology. They engineered their environment. Clothing, shelter, fire, food, and above all, each other. The cold tested humanity. Instead of just adapting to it, our ancestors adapted the world around them. Maybe that's the greatest survival skill we ever developed. We learned how to learn. What do you think mattered most? Fire, clothing, shelter, or cooperation? Let me know in the comments. And if this journey into prehistoric survival hit the spot, subscribe to Imtisk. The next chapter of human history might be even stranger.